They haven't had contact with us. They don't even realize what the program is.
A group of seminars are being held this week here at the Social Security office in the Royce Federal Plaza to try and locate the 5,000 to 6,000 people in the Milwaukee area who may be eligible for SSI but simply don't know it.
What we're trying to do this week is to reach those agencies and representatives from agencies that deal with people who might be eligible for SSI.
And so a wide variety of people have been invited to these seminars.
Everything from the schools where they deal with disabled children to homeless shelters, the Hunger Task Force. We have people from hospitals, nursing homes, every type of public institution.
Meantime, people like Flora Brunette are very happy to be able to receive SSI.
I can't explain how happy, to be honest with you. It's a blessing in disguise.
I'm Tom Hooper, Contact 6.
To get more information on who is eligible for SSI, you can call 1-800-234-5772.
You know, the term Dairyland is usually related to cows, but in Kenosha, it will soon bring dogs to mind. That's because Dairyland Greyhound Park opens June 1st. Our Nancy Chandler reports how Dairyland is different.
Look at that huge silo. This must be Dairyland.
We are the largest greyhound racing facility in the world, and our capacity is 17,500, and it's a $40 million plus facility, so we're real proud of how it looks.
It's exactly 2 weeks till opening day at Dairyland, and preparations will go right down to the wire.
It'll look better on opening weekend for sure, but we're right on schedule construction-wise.
Escalators and stairways are cluttered with scaffolding. Bedding windows are covered with plastic. A tour of this track takes imagination.
Okay, Nancy, as you enter the facility on the first floor, that's our grandstand, and there'll be reserved and unreserved seating. There'll be food courts, beverage bars, very festive. Second level is the sports lounge, where we'll have large screen TVs featuring sporting events from Milwaukee and Chicago teams. And then the third level, where we are right now, you will see the clubhouse level, and this features a 1,600-seat dining room, and also some beverage bars and some concession stands and things.
You look out over the infield now on the track, it looks a little bit different. Tell us what, in the end, it's going to look like.
Well, the landscaping will be very nice. The landscaping crews are going to move in toward the end of this week, and they'll be sodded. There'll be some ponds and some fountains out there and lots of trees and bushes, and it'll look very, very nice.
There are also heating coils in the track to allow year-round racing and increase Dairyland's draw.
We're hoping to draw from not only Milwaukee, but Chicago, the Racine-Kenosha area, and we feel that our first-year attendance is projected at 3.5 million.
With all those people going to the dogs, what about parking? Well, here's me at one end of the lot. Here's the rest of the 80 acres. Dairyland will save you a spot. Nancy Chandler, TV6 News, Kenosha.
Well, parking is plentiful and cheap. So is admission. $1 for grandstand admission, $3 for the clubhouse and the dining room.
They have some work to do before opening day.
A little bit.
Still ahead. Hop in the car and come along to Baraboo.
It has everything to offer. Historic sites, good food, even rare birds. And it's only one tank away. Circus wagons, steam engines, ferry boats, even feathered friends.
Those are some of the things that you can enjoy if you follow along with John Drilling on tonight's One Tank Trip.
Say Baraboo to most visitors, and you say Circus World Museum. 50 acres of big tops, circus wagons, and memorabilia on the banks of the Baraboo River. This is where 5 young men formed the world-famous Ringling Brothers Circus more than a century ago. And this is where all those beautiful wagons in Milwaukee's Circus Parade come from. Admission is charged for a self-guided walking tour. It takes 4 hours. Bring your camera, because this is the final summer Howard Tibble's biggest little circus in the world will be on display here. One of the oldest and prettiest show houses in Wisconsin is just a trolley ride up 4th Street from Circus World. Al Ringling spared no expense when he built his theater 75 years ago, and its grandeur survives. David Salutis serenades visitors on one of the state's few remaining theater organs. All natural, including bread right out of the oven, is the specialty of Susie's Restaurant 4 doors down from the show house. Locals recommend it for breakfast or lunch because the food is good and price is reasonable. And from soup to dessert, everything on the menu is made from scratch with no preservatives added. Birdwatchers will have a field day at the International Crane Foundation, about 5 miles north of Baraboo. 15 species, many on the endangered list, strut and preen for your camera. There is a charge for guided tours, which take about 90 minutes around the foundation's 165 acres. At North Freedom, west of Baraboo, the endangered species is the iron horse. Here at the Mid-Continent Rail Museum, you can feel what it was like to ride behind steam in rail cars saved from extinction by dedicated volunteers. They'll be getting steam up this week for daily 8-mile excursions. There's a charge for tickets, and a stroll through the Rolling Stock Museum is included. Coming or going, take a ride on the historic Merrimack Ferry. With a dozen cars aboard, it splashes happily across the Wisconsin River between Lodi and Merrimack, a floating link on State Highway 113. There's no charge for the 5-minute voyage, which in this age of interstates could make this one-tank trip a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
All right, the Baraboo Chamber of Commerce will be happy to answer any questions that you may have about a one-tank visit to that part of the state. Give them a call at 608-356-8333. And thanks for tagging along this week on our one-tank trips.
Well, it was, as advertised, a beautiful night.
Very nice. Very nice.
Will the advertisement for the rest of this weekend hold true?
I'm afraid so. A major rain event in western Iowa right now. They're getting rain, like 3-4 inches of rain in an hour in some spots.
Wow.
Big problems, but what a night to be out at the stadium, huh? Well, the weekend forecast on the way. Heavy rains return to the upper Midwest here, the last thing states like Iowa and Missouri, Kansas, and Nebraska need, and that moisture is headed our way for the weekend. Wake up tomorrow morning, plenty of clouds around, rain showers just beginning, 50 degrees on average at 7 a.m., but the intensity of the rain and the steadiness of the rain should pick up as the day goes on. For tomorrow, to start out, again, mostly cloudy skies around here. Already the heavy rains are spreading to around the Des Moines area, but they have mainly been falling west of Des Moines. Place called Coon Rapids, Iowa, about 75 miles to the west-northwest of Des Moines. 2 inches of rain in 30 minutes and hail piling up on the ground, so intense thunderstorms there. That whole area is sliding our way. We don't expect any severe weather around here, but nonetheless, we'll see the rain showers tomorrow. Heavier thunderstorms in northern and central Illinois by 7 a.m. in the morning, and the clouds spreading into the northeast corner of the state, although in the morning hours, places like Door County and the northeast corner of Wisconsin should at least start the day with partly sunny skies. By 4 o'clock, though, the entire state covered with clouds and showers, even a few rumbles of thunder around here. But again, most of the heavier thunderstorms will stay well to the south of us, Illinois, and then down through parts of Indiana. Could be a severe weather day there to the south, and also some flooding problems there as well. Now here's the rainfall forecast for the 24-hour period, 6 a.m. tomorrow through about 6 a.m. Sunday. Here in the southern part of our state, we could see up to about an inch of total rainfall, although further to the south, Illinois and into Indiana, easily 2 inches of rain, and again with those intense thunderstorms, there'll be some isolated spots that could see up to 4 inches of rainfall, so some very wet weather. For Sunday, we'll be sort of in a break in the action, partly sunny skies here in the upper Midwest, although with all the moisture around, we could still see a few scattered showers around, but most of the day will be dry. Thunderstorms and rain showers to the east, to the south, and to the west of us. Now, at this hour, we've got partly cloudy skies and temperatures 57 at Mitchell International. They're still reporting clear there. 56 at West Dallas, 52 at Campbellsport, 58 at Kenosha. You see the ball game going on in the background. Well, that's the place to be tonight. Beautiful evening. 70-47 the high-low. Winds are calm and a rising barometer. For the rest of tonight, becoming cloudy. Showers moving in towards dawn, 45 to 50. Then for tomorrow, rain, even a few thunderstorms, 50 at the lake, 55 inland. Tomorrow night, more rain, lows around 45. The extended, a few scattered showers Sunday, but cool. Then back to more rain Monday and Tuesday, temperatures only in the low 50s. On Lake Michigan tomorrow, small craft advisory because of rain and a few thunderstorms and 2 to 4 foot waves. And at County Stadium tomorrow night for the ball game, doesn't look good. Rain, probably a washout. Well, do you remember 10 years ago today? That was when an earthquake of magnitude 5.1 on the Richter scale broke open the magma chamber on Mount St. Helens with the force of 50 megaton nuclear bomb. The mountain blew 1,300 feet off its top, and spewed 540 million tons of ash into the air. 57 people died in the eruption, 222 homes were destroyed, 150,000 acres of forest were leveled, and residents dug out from layers of ash nearly a foot deep. Today, Mount St. Helens is quiet on the outside, but internal volcanic activity has created that, a 920-foot-high lava dome on the crater floor. So that lava dome is still building, although right now geologists say all is quiet.
It's hard to remember that an earthquake started that.
That's right, got it all going.
And I still somewhere maybe have a little packet of the dust from Mount St. Helens.
Big-time souvenirs here, yeah.
Thanks, Vince. That's a great night for a ball game and a great ball game to watch.
Yeah, the world champion Oakland A's are in town taking on our Brewers. Tom Pippins is watching the game with bleacher creatures tonight. Tom?
Hey, Mr. Tag! He missed the tag! Oh, hi, I must be in the front row having a great time with the bleacher creatures. Brewers ahead of Oakland. Get a look at some of the action here. B.J. Surhoff and company. Looks like a victory. We'll have the complete story from County Stadium right after this.
Hear the wake-up weather with TV6 meteorologists tomorrow morning on WMIL FM 106 and AM 920 WOKY.
TV6 Sports is brought to you by Hager Apparel Company.
Hi, everybody. Tom Pippins in the bleacher seats in right field, having a good time with my friends. More on them in a moment. But first, the Showdown Series, the American League leaders, the Brewers, of course, and Oakland. Now, third inning we go, scoreless game. Bill Wegman to Walt Weiss with a man on. Here's a drive to left center field, and watch out with a diving effort. It'll be on all the highlight reels. Super effort. And here comes Dave Parker. Brewers didn't get a hit till the fourth, and with Sheffield on, he doubles to the base of the wall. The former Oakland A puts his team ahead. The Brewers get a big shot from B.J. Surhoff off Mike Moore. That'll score Parker and Brock 3-0. Parker wasn't done. He'll double to right field over the head of Canseco. Sheffield scores. Gary stole a couple of bases. Right now they've just moved to the top of the ninth, and the Brewers lead top of the ninth inning, 5-0. And if that lead holds up, they'll have a 2.5 game lead over the Blue Jays because Toronto lost at home to California. Elsewhere in the American League, Minnesota shut down Boston, so that's great news. It's Detroit over the White Sox 8-2 in the seventh. Baltimore pasted Texas 13-1. Kansas City 4 and the Yankees 1. Cleveland blank Seattle 5-0. National League Cubs over Houston. Cincinnati whitewashing St. Louis, and Pittsburgh 9, Atlanta 3. Now, the bleacher seats, and this is the family section in right field. Great news because there's no alcohol allowed. Everybody has a good time, but you have to ask, it's a slice of life to watch a game, first of all, but why do you come out here? Why do you watch a game from the bleacher seats? Brewers!
I think the bleachers are the best place to be. It's the rowdiest place, and, you know, it's just like if you compare us to Chicago, they call them, you know, the bleacher bums. Well, it's coming up here now.
It's the most rowdy part of the ballpark, and it's fun to watch. Here, you know, you can just be obnoxious, be yourself, and have a good time.
And a crowd here estimated about 35,000. Again, Brewers had 5-0 in the ninth inning. Now some baseball action for you from Stevens Point. It's the private school boys championship wrapping up this weekend. We have Pius 11 and Manitowoc Roncalli. Dan Schmitz hits the ball. An error leads to 2 runs. And we'll go to the scoreboard to give you the latest score. I think it's over, and Pius 11 over Roncalli 5-3. Thomas More 4 and Greendale Martin Luther 1. Catholic Memorial and Madison Edgewood tied at 2 in the 7th. Oshkosh Lords 4 and Appleton Xavier 3. Now the girls' private softball tournament wraps up this weekend in Waukesha this afternoon. Pius 11 took on Kenosha St. Joe's. The Lady Pope broke the game open in the second inning. Katie Peterson single left. Deanna Schmidt with a score, and Pius wins at 18-2. The Greendale Martin Luther Waukesha Catholic Memorial game much closer. 4th inning, Martin Luther breaks open a scoreless tie. Stephanie Schmidt down the right field line. Tammy Dahlberg and Jenny Fitzharris cross home. Greendale wins 5-1. And we look at the scoreboard. Pius 11-18, Kenosha St. Joe 2. Greendale Martin Luther over Catholic Memorial. Boy, I'm nice and warm here with all these folks. A little bit cool tonight, but otherwise just beautiful. We have Fond du Lac Springs beating Divine Savior Holy Angels, and Green Bay St. Joe's 5. Stevens Point Pacelli with 3. Packer news, how about Tony Mandrich? Well, he'll start at right tackle, according to Tom Bratz. He says he's the best drive blocker I have ever seen. We'll find out what's happening here in just a second. Some hockey action for you. Stanley Cup to Boston, where they're driving for a championship. They believe they can win. But Yari, Curry, and Edmonton, the Oilers have other ideas. The steal, the shot by Curry, and the score. 7-2. Oilers win the game. They lead the best-of-7 series 2-0. Now, let's see. Bend down just a little bit, folks, so we can take a look. We still have Oakland batting. Yeah, Bill Wegman, the big story. Pitching in the ninth, ahead 5-0. We better get it back to the studio. It's starting to get a little wild out here.
Tom, we just have one bit of advice for you. Be obnoxious. Be yourself.
A little crowded out there. You know, the Brewers are not the only game in town this weekend.
Up next, we'll tell you about some athletic endeavors of a different nature competing at State Fair Park. We'll be back.
Finally, this Friday, most people are familiar with the auto races run at State Fair Park.
But this weekend, there's a different kind of horsepower. It's the 50th annual Milwaukee Spring Horse Show.
It features hundreds of top American saddlebred and Morgan horses from across the Midwest.
And the show is more than just a lot of horsing around. It benefits the St. Francis Children's Center.
The show runs through Sunday at State Fair Park with performances at 1 in the afternoon and 7:30 at night.
Some of those horses look magnificent, don't they? Got a final, I think.
I think so. Let's go back. Tom, are you okay?
Well, I'm here. You're looking at the picture. Right now, there are 2 outs, Joyce and Vince. Bill Wegman trying to get the complete game shutout victory. 5-0. Brewers ahead. Jamie Quirk at the plate. Let's see on this pitch. If something happens and it ends, fine. If not, we'll kick it right back to you. Again, the Brewers with a victory would be 2.5 games up on both Boston and the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's Wegman to Quirk with 2 down. Pop up. Will it be playable? Apparently not. Off to the third base side. But it looks good for the Brewers. I'd love to stay out here, but I suppose sooner or later we have to go to other programming. Have a nice weekend.
That's right.
And of course, contractually, we can't show you any of that game while it's in progress, so sorry.
That's a nice start to the weekend, though. A Brewer win.
True enough, and a shutout to boot. That's our news tonight at 10.
We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Night Court is next. Cheers at 11.